Welcome back to my Pokemon Crystal walkthrough. I'm your host, DeoGenZ. Here's a tip for you. Miracle Berry will cure its Pokemon of any status if it is held by whichever Pokemon is affected. Today we're going to traverse Route 45 and also this other side of Dark Cave. So let's light this bitch up. And something I want to say. I will never censor myself in how I speak, so if I offend, please do not watch. That is all. I've not known of any comments to come about yet, seeing that I record these in bulk and then I don't see the results until later. But I just realized that in the past episode I had been saying cunt, and for some people who are ruled by language, that might offend. But it's all in good, jolly-natured fun, and if you can't hear those words, then please leave. Yes, it's Pokemon, but this is my walkthrough, and DeoGenZ never censors himself, so sorry. Can't do it. I will warn you of it, this time, as we're already way too far into it, but maybe I'll start making that a common practice of my Let's Plays from here on out. I never thought to do that before, make kind of a mentioning of that, just because I never really saw the problem, because for me, as a boy growing up, my parents cursed openly in front of me, and they said that they sat me down and told me what it was all about, Sometimes you get frustrated, and sometimes you need to be super expressionate, and sometimes, also, it's hilarious. So, know when to use the language, but don't be owned by it, and don't fear words. What kind of evolved being are you going to turn out if you're ruled by language? You're ruled by symbols, not even the true meaning, which you could tell from my past episodes. It's all good-natured fun. Now this fella here, he's got a good item for what my Eevee will be using later when it evolves, so big hint to you there. Black glasses, they raise dark-type moves. I want an Umbreon! I've always loved Umbreon, and I wish it would evolve already. Hopefully, with all the training we're going to be doing today on Route 45, we're going to get its happiness raised and its experience points raised, so all that happens simultaneously. We will have to see, though. We will have to see. Yeah, but, I realize, people, they come onto these walkthroughs, and, yeah, people who look for Pokemon may be young. It's just something I never considered because it's the internet, and again, I forget sometimes that not everybody's had the upbringing as I have, and not being affected by such silliness. Shortcut there because I didn't need to show you my fly animation. And Skarmories can sometimes be found in that grass. Didn't happen to find it there, otherwise I would have showed you, but it's also one of the cool second-gen steel types that came about with Scizor and Fortress. I'm trying to think, are there any others that were in the second gen? Scizor, Fortress, Skarmory, well, Magneton, technically, but it wasn't new. And I think that's all. Oh, anyway, we're going to be versing everyone on this route today. Let's see how strong. Not as strong as I would have liked it to be. Well, Seismic Toss, that's fine. The cool thing about Seismic Toss, even though Machop is a fighting type, and usually if it uses a fighting type move, you'd expect it to be super effective, right? Well, Seismic Toss only affects your Pokemon as far as its weight goes. That's how strong the power of it will be. Because if you watched any of the anime, you'll know that Seismic Toss is a pretty radical move, where the Pokemon will pick up the opposition, twirl them in the air in a globe configuration. That's how we often saw it. Charizard usually used Seismic Toss, and then throw them back into the earth. And the weight compiling upon the Pokemon's body from its own mass is what injures it. So it doesn't get affected by its super effective type of being fighting, which is a big break for Eevee here. Graveler. Something to beware of with these grimacing Gravelers is that they often like to self-destruct. That's why I was quick to switch Eevee out. See? That's why I was quick to switch Eevee out. I want it to get experience points and happiness boosting, but as soon as it faints, it loses happiness. and I don't need that tug back and forth, making it even more difficult than it is to raise my already stubborn Eevee into an Umbreon. So beware if you're trying to pay special attention to a certain Pokemon's happiness or level, or you need it vitally. Be sure to bring a Pokemon that can fly with you on this route, because there's multiple paths that we're going to be going on today, and that's why I'll make assorted jump cuts, so we can fight all the trainers on this route and make sure that it's well explored. See? Can't go back. Cannot climb up the mountain. It's funny because I like that they made the move Rock Climb, but it's really rather useless to me because you can't climb up any old rocks, specific rocks. But back in the days of Crystal, when I was a kid, very imaginative, and thought that I could glitch through certain panels of shrubbery to find hidden towns, I also thought it might be possible to somehow climb up those mountains. I was thinking, they look kind of like steps. If I could just angle my foot in there and do some kind of impossible jump, because there was no jump function in this game. Why do you need that for an RPG such as this? I thought maybe I could climb up the mountain and get to the other side of something where there would be another hidden town, or maybe something even better, like following the train tracks in Goldenrod City. That was something I thought was possible too at one time. Oh, naivete of programming. It's kind of, it was so much better back then almost. I love this game still, don't get me wrong. It's still my #1 game of all time, because it is what made me a gamer, period. But back in the day when I didn't know anything about games, and I just thought, as I would, I knew games glitched out, and I knew that there were secrets in games, but I didn't know to what extent the programmers went. So I combined those thoughts and thought, wow, there's probably a whole vast other region to explore that I'm not even seeing right now because I haven't glitched through the shrubs. Never did take it to the point of a Game Shark, though, because Game Shark to me was always just a cheating device. I never wanted to cheat. I would be okay with exploiting a glitch in the game, especially in Emerald, that cloning glitch, but I would never want to use Game Shark to cheat or hack my stats or fill the Pokédex, because that defeats the whole purpose of playing the game. The entire idea of Pokemon is gotta catch 'em all. It's as simple as that. Gotta catch 'em all, raise 'em up, and have an adventure with your team. That's the entire premise that this whole franchise has been running on for over a decade. And to get a Game Shark that did it for you with just the flick of a switch and a code, it's just bullshit. Why would you do that? Why would you purposefully not play the game? It's like getting a new game and giving it to your friend and saying, hey dude, could you play this game for me? I don't feel like playing it right now, so, you just give it back to me when you win, and I'll just, bask in the glory of the game being completed. Dude, it's not you completing the game. Yeah, I know, dude, Dude, it's cool. I just want the game completed, and then I could bask in its glow of completedness. Yeah. I don't know what the logic behind that is, but still. There are some who have it. I have seen. Yeah. There was a great glitch in Emerald, though, now that I think about that, reminiscing on glitches and different things of that sort. There was a glitch you could do in the Battle Frontier that allowed you to clone your Pokemon, and I, being the archiving nut that I am, I did this. I cloned every single one of my Pokemon in Emerald that I had gotten up until that point, through Ruby, Sapphire, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Colosseum, and Gale of Darkness. I archived all those, and they're still on my Emerald cartridge today. But they're also in my Diamond game, and they're also in my Black and White game. I have different generational copies for each one that I found out how to do a glitch. I thought, maybe I'll come back to Emerald one day, and wouldn't it suck if I couldn't fight all the trainers that I was before, just because I didn't have any comparable Pokemon anymore. Of course, I never went back to that game, and at this point, I never will, except to restart a game. And in that way, I would have to delete all those Pokemon, so it was kind of pointless. But finally, in Diamond and Pearl, that's when I was able to back up my Pokemon completely. There's this thing called Pokesalve. There's a lot of controversy around it too, because people use it sometimes in a cheating type way like GameShark would, and boost their stats unreasonably. I never like to do that. Again, I like to play the Pokemon game. But being an archiving maniac that I am, I always was afraid of what tormented me so much as a kid when I played Crystal. The internal battery running dry. Now I know. These DS cartridges and Game Boy Advance cartridges are a lot more advanced, Game Boy Advance cartridges I should say, are a lot more advanced than the Game Boy Color one was. And I don't think there is any internal battery to dry up, at least in the DS cartridge. But I still was paranoid about the fact that all that would have to happen is some kind of catastrophic electrical failure, something that zapped the cartridge, some magnet went over it, I lost the cartridge, whatever it could have been. And all my Pokemon that I've raised for years, literally years, I've had adventures with these Pokemon, they all would have been gone. Maybe I'm too sentimental about Binary, but they are some spectacular memories that I have, and now I have an archive of every single Pokemon I've ever caught, except for the ones in black and white, in my hard drive. I have multiple copies, I have backups and things, because I never wanted to lose any of my Pokemon. And anyone who is as hardcore about Pokemon as me probably understands that journey, because if you've played these games every time they came out, it's been a significant experience each time. And it's more than just the game experience. Since Pokemon is mostly a portable game, I remember playing in different places. I remember, oh, I was doing this when I was playing around here, and when I caught you, I was at that location. Things of that nature. Because wherever I went, I had a Game Boy. Often as a kid, I was kind of ostracized, and if you don't know what that means, it means left out of everything, pretty much, and just isolated from everyone. And it wasn't because I played video games or anything like that, you know, the typical nerd archetype of everybody staying away from you because you're not cool, man. You play video games. You're a nerd. But it was actually because of my diet that most people shed my friendship, and they said that I was just not someone to hang out with, or made fun of me, rather. Not even say that I wasn't worth hanging out with, I was worth making fun of. Because I've been a vegetarian my whole entire life. I've never once had meat, never will, because it's a rare experience, great experiment, and I think, why should I mess it up now? I don't know any other person who has been a pure vegetarian their whole entire life. I hope to find someone one day. But as a kid, growing up in suburbia, not even suburbia, I mean it was the shore towns of Jersey. But it was populated enough with people of manipulated opinions from the media, those who couldn't think for themselves, who were just completely misunderstanding my stance on being a vegetarian. They just saw it as a platform to make fun of me from. So I couldn't give a fuck about what those people were doing. I thought that what I was doing the whole time was way more fun than anything they could have been up to. And I went on that premise and carried my Game Boy with me everywhere I went. That's definitely something that's made me a more hardcore gamer. But it's interesting because nobody's ever taunted me for being a gamer. Especially now, it feels superbly excellent to say that, yeah, I play video games. In fact, I make money playing video games. It's a sad thing because you can't tell someone that, or most people you run into on the street who you just have small talk conversations with, you can't tell them that I play Pokemon still because it's my passion, and I play Pokemon because I'm not gonna lie to myself. I love these little guys. I love these awesome creatures. I have loved them for my whole entire life. I'm not going to give something up because I'm older now. The games are still freaking amazing. I have now an audience to unbox cards with, and I still get a thrill out of opening card packs. Even though I still don't have anyone to verse, it's still a cool collection. And now, I have an audience that I can disperse my cards out to, which is even cooler. which I think I will be doing for sure in Gaming Gauntlet, my podcast here on YouTube. But you can't just walk up to somebody and say, yeah, I love Pokemon, man. It's just the best. Pokemon is my life. They're going to give you an odd eyeball. So to have that partnership not only allows me to do what I do here on YouTube a lot more because I have a bit more income to purchase games for LPs, but it also gives me the relief of being someone who's quote-unquote made it in life, which is nice at 19. You know, it's very, very satisfying to have profit from video games, because people, they're like, it's unbelievable to most people. They think, how could that happen? You play video games? You don't even make video games? How? So I seem like someone who's working the system, but really, it's all thanks to you guys, and another reason I'm constantly thanking you. You know, I thank you for making me a better gamer. That's one major thing, because I think about the games in a completely different way of how to make gameplay more entertaining and not just get to the end. But also, you guys have given me that validity of being someone who's a professional gamer. Someone who is so exuberant about games, so passionate about them, that I can have this title now to throw around against people who are just ridiculous to speak with, and just shut them up fast with a quick phrase of, yeah, I make money playing games. And it's not a significant amount. I don't want you to think that I'm a millionaire from this. It's really infrequent, and since the partnership at this point, haven't actually gotten a check yet. But it's good to know that I have that enabled, and it's good to know that my audience is still slowly growing. That's really what I care about the most, is getting more cool people on this channel. The partnership just allows me to do more things on the YouTube that I couldn't do before, like making shows, having videos that are ranging into hour lengths, and being able to do some other cool things with networking with Tiny Galaxy to spread other LPs that I do into audiences that may not know my work. So it's completely mutually beneficial. You guys make me a better person, and you guys have better LPs to watch. So thank you for that. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I know on these long episodes where I just verse Pokemon all the time and don't even speed up the battles, it just becomes a long rant for myself, but that's another cool thing about post-commentary. I don't have to be bored with just playing and focusing on doing what I do and talking about the minutia of my moves. I can go on to talk about other things that are more vital, because these are trainers. They're just meager trainers that if I wasn't having this hour extension, if I wasn't having unlimited time to post to YouTube, I certainly would speed up the battles. But do tell me though in the comments, I don't want to be someone who's just pontificating all the time. If this isn't entertaining to you because it's too long, please comment below. I don't really have any trolls on this channel, I'm happy to say. There are the occasional people who may pop up and say I'm an idiot because I may have forgotten something, or, you know, that kind of thing, but I just look at that as somebody's discontent in their life, and now they're just outraged and taking it out on me, someone who didn't really even do anything to upset them specifically, but they just overreact because their life is not going swimmingly, and they see me being an idiot, and they may think, oh man, how does this guy get views? Oh man, how does this guy get likes? How does this guy get partnership? You know, that kind of mentality, the envy, the ego taking over. That nasty little ego. I do talk quite in length about egos on my other channel, my blog channel. That's a cool thing too. You know, the partnership really snapped me out of it, realizing that what I've produced on this channel is really kind of a commodity in a way. Not that I'm something to be bought and sold, but I produce a certain quality of product on this channel, being good LPs. People come to this channel pretty much primarily for that. If I want to spout out my philosophical memorings of life and how my experience on this planet, the real planet, not the Pokemon biome, is going, I really should take that to a separate channel. And getting partnership and having my channel almost taken down at the same time because of the Fleshlight review that I put up, it really kind of snapped me into it and made me realize I gotta separate my endeavors. And now is a time when we will go back to the top and trickle on down a different route so we can face more trainers and, of course, collect items we missed. There we go. I don't like facing wild Pokemon without repel. Thank goodness for jump cuts. Pokemon are powered pack. Yeah, I'm sure they are. But it's cool because I like how the blog channel is developing. You know, it's whenever I get the chance to throw up a video up there in a few minutes of just my spare time. And it's my real ideas. It's not just, what's the best strategy to get through this? You know, it is still a lot of strategies. In fact, I have some strategies of life up there, of how I live my life, not as a way to guide your life at all. It's just things that have worked well for me. So it's something to consider for maybe yourself if you're interested. But, you know, it's just things that I have encountered, lessons I've learned, and I want to archive that. Again, I am a neurotic almost sometimes archiver. I love data, and any data that I've collected in my mind, in my travels, in my readings of numerous books and videos I watch, I like to spread that, and I don't care that it's not popular. You know, those videos get like no views at all. Of course, it's still a starting out channel, but I realized from that most people, they don't want to be challenged in the way they think, and that's why when I tried to mention Robert Anton Wilson and reality tunnels and how things might be better off if religious societies didn't exist, you know, suggesting kind of ideas like that on a Pokemon video certainly wasn't the place. There are too many people who are very touchy about that kind of issue, and those who don't depend on logic to make their decisions, they just get very irrational and emotionally based on what somebody is saying and taking it completely out of context, which often happens. You know, I'm going to find that kind of retaliation on this channel. Yeah, the video might get more likes, it's going to get a lot more dislikes, but I'm not here for popularity. I'm here to spread ideas. I'm here to play Pokemon, spread ideas, and kick ass. As whoever said that would. The only reason I know that phrase, that here to chew bubblegum and kick ass phrase, is because of a dubstep that I listen to. It's so funny. I pick up so many awesome catchphrases and limericks and anecdotes from dubstep. I often wonder, where did that come from? And I like this one dubstep, Three Fist Style by Dat Sick. Certainly one day I'll get around to making a dubstep compilation to bring to the Gaming Gauntlet podcast. But that is such a well-worded, sharp-toned dubstep of karate fascination that I want to know where that came from. And sometimes it's very hard to locate the quotes of dubstep songs. Luckily, if they come from a movie, it's pretty easy to locate through Google by just typing in the phrase, but sometimes it's difficult. Very difficult. Oh, like this one. Oh, you know, Streets of Rage, Picto, the Flux Pavilion remix. The one that I did actually for, oh wow, just changed today. That was cool. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. The one video that I made with the unknowns that I was scribbling out on the wall for the promo of this LP about a year ago or so, I used that song, and it has this clip from something of these blimey Brits and oh sorry you vile piece of scum, and then it just erupts into epic dubstep. I don't know what that's from still today, and I'm searching avidly for it. If you know what it's from, go check out the original promo for this video. No, not the original promo. The making of the promo, that's what it was used in. Sorry, sometimes I forget, make too many videos. But that was when I used that song, and I don't know what that character's voice was from. It was hilarious, though. And I would love to know if it's like a full show or a video or who knows, but we've concluded Route 45, so next time we're going to travel through Mount Mortar.